Alright.
I don't know how many people know this, but Sarah was the first friend I ever made in high school. I was standing in the lunch line, and I was this shy, awkward little freshman. Not much has changed except I'm no longer a freshman. But Sarah was right in front of me, and she was talking to someone, and they were talking about dungeon porn. And she turns to me and goes, "I'm so sorry, whoever's behind me. This must be really weird." And that's how I became friends. That was the best story.
The first time I ever met Sarah is because of this one right here. And I remember because the next day she walks up behind me. I had been sitting down and reaches from behind me to firmly grasp both of my boobs. And we have been best friends ever since that day.
Oh, you think you can top that, really? The first time I met Sarah, within 5 minutes of meeting me, she had her hands on my boobs. 10 minutes later, her hands had migrated. Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You don't even know what
No, I saw what it was.
It's certainly unique.
you need to do that.
Thank you.
Very
What?
unique. Yes. Anybody else?
I remember when you supposedly do that science project.
Oh,
You had your two things. You brought them down. Iffy about them, and then I went to raise my hand to pet one, and then I remember you like startled me by like shoving it in my face because I was about to touch it, and I almost.
Do you have a hat over your head?
What?
Do you have a hat over your head?
And then we made some inappropriate cookies.
Oh yeah. The snickerdoodles, as before mentioned, may or may not have been shaped in phallic objects.
Oh.
Oh,
God bless.
Throwing her under the
Not-
bus?
not even-
Really?
Not even close.
I remember 3 days ago we switched shoes, and then I forgot about it halfway through.
You forgot you switched shoes.
That's magical.
One each.
Yeah,
So you
because
had
we
Awesome.
had the same shoes except one, like his were blue and mine were
Come on.
red. So like we ended up switching. So I had one red and one blue, and he had one red and one blue.
Oh, that's awesome.
Best part.
And then you
wear
two
the same shoe
forgot.
size.
Yeah, and then you forgot.
Yeah.
Halfway through. Then I remembered when I looked down at my feet and my shoes were not the same.
Those aren't right.
That's true.
This-
I also
this
took
is
off my
also
shoe
true.
halfway through.
I have a few.
New Year's party, I'm leaving it at that.
Oh,
I
dude.
was not there for that.
You were not there for that.
I am glad I was not there for that.
No,
That was a
I
great
have
time.
a better one. So,
Wait a second. Are you gonna do the one I think you're gonna
What?
do?
there's 2 of them you could be thinking of. So,
Do them both.
I guess, okay. So the first one. This one loves Pokemon. And she loves this little cute Pokemon called Esper.
Oh no.
For her birthday, I kept her guessing at what I was going to get her. And at some point, she broke me on a Skype call, and I'm
Oh,
like,
right.
fine, I'm gonna show you. And it was a plushie of the Pokemon, and this one started bawling for about 20 minutes.
It was not 20 minutes.
It was 20 minutes. Don't you lie. And it was so magical because, like, the next day you came running towards it. It's like, mine! I love it!
So she's emotional about her Pokemon.
Yeah, she is.
Well, it was like the first time I really got a really nice gift from a friend, you know? Like, like birthday gift actually. Like I think up until that point
Thank
I
you,
didn't
Tommy.
have
Sure.
any like friends who gave me birthday gifts. So
Yeah, okay. And then the second story.
is this gonna be
Oh.
about the anime club or Scalemate?
I'm gonna go with the incident at Anime Club.
Alright, that's what I thought
Oh, no.
first.
So one time at Anime Club.
That all stories start like that are great.
Yes, indeed.
This one time.
We were all beginning to walk out. Me and my good friend Crystal are waiting for this one to come out to get her stuff ready, and so we can leave and we can drop her off. Well, in the meantime, she's trying to show off her drawings in her sketchbook to one of her friends, and one of her friends starts peering all the way in the back,
Oh, I know
and
this
she
is
gets
cool.
so scared. She screams out, "No, don't look! There's penises in there!" And the sponsor, Mr. Milnes, was right behind her,
No.
and her face was so just scared. She just ran out. She was so embarrassed.
I still
Good
have
times.
those pictures you drew in my notebook. I am never getting rid of that notebook.
Which drawings were those?
The ones, Daedric and Demi D and Demi Do.
Oh, Demi D and Demi Do.
Yeah, plus the one you drew of. I have one where you drew like Daedric there, and then you cartoonized me and Joe. And I was totally flipping out for whatever reason. I think I know what reason, and you know what reason too, Sam.
Oh.
Yeah, it's an interesting page in my notebook.
I've left some really interesting
Oh,
drawings
there
in other people's notebooks, like Austin's.
I think the expectation is that you tell people about the drawings.
Sometimes that's not.
Yeah,
the best.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's best to leave.
I'd rather not get
Some
suspended.
things should be left secret.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I have that one.
Alright.
Okay, so a few months ago,
Video of everyone.
Sarah and I went to this lovely thing at JJC called Gay Prom,
Oh yeah.
and we pretended we were a couple because it was cheaper that way.
Yeah.
And I don't, and she got pulled on stage by a drag king during
Oh,
a Disney montage.
Oh yeah. It was during one of the drag shows, and they each of them, like, it was the last performer that came out. All of a sudden, they grabbed me by the hand and they like do that spin thing, and I was like, I almost lost balance, honestly. Like, it was great.
Fun
And
times.
that's the end of that story.
I would like to apologize for my shoddy camera work also while we're here, because I'm just like, here, let me just whip the camera around. That's on camera now.
That's okay.
Everything's on camera.
It's like never mind. Yeah. So do you have any other stories, GT, or should we wrap this up?
Oh, I'm sure I have others, but let's keep it to a minimum. I think we've got a pretty good idea of who you are at this point. Maybe too good of an idea. Hey.
It's almost 4:10.
I know it's almost 4:10. Thank you.
Sorry.
All right.
It's almost 4:10 by the way.
Oh, do you have to leave?
I probably
Oh,
should.
just right, what I agreed.
Oh, right.
What
I
I
forgot. You
Yeah,
have something
and-
too.
I don't want to take this.
Hold on.
Okay. I just wrote this stuff this morning. Okay, Sarah has been thinking about joining book club since she was a freshman.
I wasn't here when I was a freshman.
No, well, since but
She
you
was
were in
thinking
my
of it
class,
since
though.
before.
That was like the last 2 weeks of freshman year.
Right. So that was when
That
we
was when I first moved to Minnesota.
talked about it. Yeah, and so you were in my freshman English class and we talked about it, and so she was thinking about it, and I would see her at meetings, but she just peeked in the door. She would look in the door, and it seemed like she always stayed for the meetings because afterwards I'd see her again, and she would be peeking in the door again, and then she would leave with some of the people that were in the meetings.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
most of the people that I knew at the
Right,
meetings were my
right.
friends.
So I would see you, and so I would see her around the building, like for around Madrigal rehearsals, and she'd be playing tunes on her ocarina, and we would talk, and she'd play me a tune, and so I kept seeing her around, and I'd never even heard of an ocarina until you showed me the ocarina, and then now you just bought one.
Yep.
It's an awesome instrument. So then I turned around and she'd be gone again. So she kept popping in and popping out, And the next book club meeting, I'd see her again walking by our meeting, and she always was so kind and friendly. And she'd say, "Oh, hi, Mrs." She'd wave in the window, in the door. She'd always was so kind and friendly. So I think it took her several years, or maybe at least a year, to just get used to us, used to this group, you know? And so she finally started coming in the door and she started staying longer and she sort of became a member, just like kind of eased her way into it. So, and she started talking in meetings and telling her, and then one time she shared with us, she said, oh, I don't really like reading that much. And then you talked about one book that you liked.
Oh, yeah.
And what was that book? I don't remember the name of it.
It was called Hyperbole and a Half.
Right, okay. And you were telling us about that book, and you said, that's the one book I've read that I've really enjoyed. Okay? So, if she doesn't really like reading, I'm just trying to figure out, okay, she just kept coming back and coming back. So, what is it that made her come back and finally join book club? I'm trying to figure that out. What could it be? Well, I don't think, could it be that we have food at our meetings? I mean, we love food.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
That's the reason.
We love food. So, it could be that. Maybe it's the warm conversations she has with the friends, you know, she got so many friends. Maybe it's those stimulating book discussions. Look at her laugh.
Absolutely.
That's it, those stimulating book discussions. Maybe she loves her whiteboard illustrations, because we have so many of those. We have so many. Like last time, we had a meeting, and it was, the whole board was awesome. Did anybody take a picture of that?
Oh,
No.
we didn't. Oh, no.
That was an awesome board. Okay,
Socks,
so
bread, cookie wrap.
maybe she likes selling junk at lunch. We do a lot of that.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Did you like selling the junk at lunch?
It was alright.
It was kind of fun. Okay.
I honestly mainly joined just because I know everyone here.
Right, and that's what I came down to. It's like the winning personalities in this club. It's like she could not stay away. Right?
That's her fault.
I'm awesome.
So whatever. We're glad she hung around and
Hey.
decided to join book club.
Tell them in a minute.
Okay, so as far as we're concerned, she's been a member since the day she walked into her freshman year. Those last 2 weeks. Okay.
Close enough.
So, because she's always been around here, you know, somewhere. She's always been around. You know,
She's lurking in the corner.
Well, I didn't think she was
Illuminati
looking.
confirmed.
So what I came up with is, you know how the woodland elf, you know, you see him and you think you see him in the woods, and then they're gone.
Slenderman.
And you think you see him again, and they're gone. So it's like the award that I've made for you is the Woodland Elf Award, or the Now You See Him, Now You Don't. Now you see him.
That was
Congratulations, you're Slenderman.
Hey! We got
Okay.
the black and the white and even the red.
That's me.
Okay,
Go
so,
Sam!
do we have any more? Congratulations. Yay.
I am your god.
Thank you, Tommy.
You are.
I love you all. I'm so